Good afternoon and welcome to the second series of our training session. It's an ongoing process led by Bhagyashri and her team, and we are very thankful to Rohit Chaudhary, application engineer at Hexaview Technologies, for this second webinar or training session on RPA. RPA, as you know, nowadays is getting pretty popular, right? Robotic process automation. So in this particular webinar, our focus would be to understand on RPA as a rapidly growing technology. We would also try and delve into exploring RPA's component and features, and we would also be checking out tools and technologies used in RPA, some pros and cons of RPA, because wherever you go, you cannot avoid cons, but then RPA has got a lot of pros as well. Right. So the flow of this webinar would be Rohit would be taking over from me. And in between, if you have any questions, you can always raise your hands or you can also type in the chat box. In case you raise your hand, we can give you an access to your audio or video features as well. I hope this is all fine. Rohit, over to you. Let's start our interactive session today and enlighten us with what it's all about from RPA, because from marketing side I have been hearing a lot of our prospects talking about RPA. So over to you, Rohit, and all the best.
Thanks, Abhishek. Is my screen visible?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So, firstly, talking about Hexaview Technology. So, Hexaview Technology is a boutique technology consulting firm specializing in helping companies achieve business outcomes through staff augmentation and the delivery of custom software solutions. From startups to global players at the top of the Fortune 500 ranks, we have worked with prominent brands to help them develop solutions that solve real-world problems. Talking about Hexa's vision is to empower business with the right technologies, and Hexa's mission is to deliver long-term strategic outcomes to revolutionize industries and make our client business not only strive but thrive. So, a very good afternoon to one and all present here. Today, I, Rohit Chaudhary, will going to deliver a short presentation on Introduction to Robotic Process Automation. So, I am joined Hexaview Technology in October 2022, and I am part of Data Science Department. I completed my 6 months training in Python, Django, and then explored the robotic process automation tools, that is UiPath and Automation Anywhere. Mostly, we focused on UiPath Studio tool and worked on some of the internal company project, that is Easy Recruit onboarding and certificate generator. So let's start this. So firstly, we will go to the RPA, then we'll see life cycle, and then advantage, disadvantages, and then what are the components and architecture of RPA, what are some of the use cases we have can use in RPA in real life, and we have implemented in our organization also. Then the tools and technologies which are available in RPA, and later we'll talk some future aspects of RPA. So let's begin with what is RPA. So basically, robotic process automation. It basically consists of three words, that is robot, process, and automation. So firstly, let's talk about robot. So what are robot? An entity which has the capability to mimic human actions. Any entity which can perform human actions can behave like a human. So it is a robot. Then process. A process is a sequence of steps, a series of steps which someone need to perform. So this is process. And automation, tasks that happen automatically when there is no human interventions. The tasks are happening automatically, no human need to don't do anything. So this what makes robotic process automation. A robot which performs a process, a sequence of series without human intervention. So this is what a robotic process automation is. And basically it is a software technology that can automate manual, rule based and repetitive tasks. A task should be repetitive, and even it can understand what's on screen. For example, I am showing this PPT, we all are able to understand what is on screen. Similar way, a robot can also understand what is on the screen. Then it can even complete keystroke. As I'm now placing keys, like presentation is moving. So similar way, a robot can understand the keys and behave in keystrokes. Then extract data. It can do data scraping. You can extract documents and so many things. So basically, there are two types of robotic process automation process, that is attended and unattended. So what is attended robotic process automation. So what basically happens in attended robotic process automation is that in between the process, somewhere there is human interventions, and in unattended, it is a completely based on robot. There is no need of any human starting the process; it will automatically start. So what is basically RPA? So just consider scenario where you want to send daily in the morning, send 100 good morning messages to 100 people. So instead of typing all the messages manually, you can create a bot which in daily morning which iterate to all those people and send them good morning message. So this is what a robotic process automation technology is, automating the things and reducing human time. So now basically there are three types of bots in RPA. That is pro bot, no bot, and chat bots. So let's discuss all of them separately. So first of all, let's talk about pro bots. So what are pro bots? So bots that follow simple, repeatable rules to process data. As I explained, if you want to send 100 messages to 100 people, so you can create a bot. So this is a simple process. There is no involvement of any AI/ML or machine learning. So these are simple data and it write the message what you are given to it. Then comes the no bot. What are no bots? Bots that search user specific data from internet and respond back to user. Like we can consider example of data scraping is a example of a no bot. You need to specify the data which you want to fetch from the websites or any retail website. So this is what a no bot do. Then comes the chatbot. We can see many chatbots in today's world. If you go in any website, we there see a bot is integrated to which you can ask the queries, then you get a response. So this is what a chatbot is. Bots that act and respond as virtual agents. So this was about introduction to robotic process automation. What are the types of RPA and bots in RPA? So these are three bots present in the RPA. Now before moving to the use cases and architecture of robotic process automation, we should very clear about the life cycle of robotic process automation. So the life cycle of robotic process automation process is a very simple, like it is similar like a daily we make a project and a project have a life cycle. So let's start. So first phase is identify. We identify a problem which that is repeatable, where more of human intervention is involved, and that things can be replaced by the robot. Not everything is still replaced by the robots. So we need to identify a problem where we can involve a bot, a system bot, which can perform system tasks. Then comes a design phase. We design a solution. We select which tool want to use, which tool is cost effective according to our scenario, our problem. We design what are the activities we will be using for, like if we will need PDF automation or word activities. So we design the solution, then we develop using RPA tool. Then we move to the test. We test with various test cases and UAT and all those things goes on. Then we shift toward the deployment. So what basically deployment, the RPA deployment is very simple. So like it runs on machine, it runs on system. So there is an orchestrator present in RPA, a server. So there you just need to publish your package and from there you can easily run the RPA. So the deployment is very simple part. And from orchestrator only, you can manage all the tasks when the bot is running, when the process is stopped, at what time you want to automatically start the process. So all those things can be monitored and managed. So this is a life cycle of an robotic process automation. So now let's the components of robotic process automation. Here, if let me make clear, like robots here is not a humanoid robot, a robot which is having arm or any legs, or it is working in a factories, like for assembling things. It is a system bot. It runs on system. Okay. So let's see components of RPA. So as you can see this first diagram on the top right of my side, like so basically every RPA tool or has basically three components. That is development studio. So what is development studio? It is a platform. It is a tool where you can create and develop your process. You have recorded your plugin workflow designs. You can design your project. It is drag and drop. Then you have control center from where you can monitor all your tasks, the processes which you have created, like when the process is running and all, and control you if you want to start, if you want to trigger. So all these things are mentioned from control center. And we have bot runner. As I told, we have bot. So bot runner runs the particular process which we want to run. It monitors the process. It runs the process. So now let's come to this top left corner diagram. So now this we will see in real time. So as you can see, this is UI path. This is a tool. This is our system. We are developer. We are here in the UI path. We created the project. We created this project and we published that project. So this project, all the files and all the details which we have created, all the activities, all these get binded in this .nugget package. And this package has been uploaded to Orchestrator. So now let's see this. As you can see, now we are at UiPath Studio, at this part, this one, UiPath Studio. And this is a home page from where you can start a new process. When you click on process, you get option to start new process. I already created a blank process. So from this is a blank process. So this is the interface from where you can drag and drop activities in anything you want to drag and drop like this. Uh, so this is what activity it is present here. Then currently I'm not giving any value, that's why it's showing this error. And then you have this app and web recorder. What this recorder do is, as I told that this recorder plugin extension workflow design here, so I'm showing that. So app recorder, basically you can start the recording and whatever the process you will do, it will create a script for it and it will automatically bring all the activities here. For example, if I start recording, then I go back, then I again press this key. So a complete flowchart will be created, what steps you have performed. And this will automate it automatically next time. Then we have computer vision, like OCR text we can perform, and even we can perform web scraping and data scraping, all those part. So this is what it was. And here you can see publish option. This is a publish. So as you can see, it's showing that package and automation process or library. Okay, so whatever the activities we use, it burns in a NuGet package and we publish this to orchestrator. So this part, this is now in NuGet package, and we published it to orchestrator. So now let's go to orchestrator. So this is orchestrator. Let me go here. Yes, so this is orchestrator. Just now assume that we were at UiPath Studio. From there, we created this project RPA demo process, and we just publish it to orchestrator. Let me show you the, okay. So from here we published, and just now assume that we have published this. So now here, all the process which you have published come to the orchestrator. So I have another process present here in the UI path. Let me open that. For example, sending offer letter. So this is process. This has been published already to orchestrator. Now I'm going back to orchestrator. As you can see, this process is already published here, sending offer letter. And when we go here, we can even see the packages, what the activities were used. So this is the latest package which was published to the orchestrator. So this is a flow like we connect DB, we face the employee. So all the details, all the series of activities is present here. And from here, we can run the process. So I hope the first diagram is clear, like we were having UiPath system, we have project and we publish this to orchestrator. This orchestrator is this one. Now let's come to this diagram, the this right one diagram. So you can see there are multiple system from office process, like this can be considered as a system 1, system 2, system 3, system 4. Okay, this is orchestrator. Now we have this process on our orchestrator, this one, and these are various machine which is connected to orchestrator, like machine 1, machine 2. So here we have option. As we go on home, you can see machines. So currently this orchestrator is has two machines. That is this HV Dental, this my system, and another is EC2 instance machine. So we have connected two of those machines with on the our orchestrator. So this is one machine, machine two. Then you can see machine key and NuGet package. Basically, when we start process from orchestrator, for example, if I start process from here, then this process is its NuGet package. That NuGet package get downloaded to the particular machine on which we want to run the process, and every machine has a machine key. So when I click on start a job, you can see an option to select machine, on which machine you want to run the process. So this is machine 1, machine 2. So you get option like two machines were configured. So you can see this one machine and machine 2. So you can select any of those machine and you can start the process. Now let's move to next slide. Now this was what development studio, this was orchestrator, and this was UiPath assistant. So now let's see what was UiPath assistant. So this is UiPath Assistant. Now this orchestrator is connected to our UiPath Studio. As you can see this Rohit Chaudhary Hexaview, I have logged in into orchestrator. And also there is an assistant. This is UiPath Assistant. So what basically happens key when you start a process from orchestrator, for example, I start this process selecting this machine. So how this machine will know that the process will run on this machine. For example, let's come to PPT again. So I started a process from here. So there should be some reference. Okay, the process should run on this machine or this machine. So this UiPath assistant helps in this thing. We have orchestrator. Now from orchestrator we selected the machine. So now this UiPath assistant will start on which it is configured. This helps in selecting the machine on which we want to run the process. So these were the basically three components of UiPath Studio in robotic process automation. I hope it was clear about this. Yes, now we have various activities like as I told robotic process automation. So what things we can automate? We should know that. So in studio we have different activities like this is studio and there we have activities as I showed. So I have already taken some screenshots and shared some activities here so that we not it search. So as you can see we have AWS activity. So in AWS activity we can connect EC2 instance with robotic process automation. We can connect S3 bucket. Even we can download the objects from S3 bucket. We can schedule downloading the objects, scheduling, filtering of S3 buckets. We can even upload documents to S3 bucket and all other things. Then we have in second image, we have Gmail. We can integrate mail activities in robotic process automation. We can connect Gmail or we can connect Outlook. If someone needs that I want to daily delete these emails after reading from a particular for example, you got hundreds of mails, you have read it, and you don't want to manually delete all that hundreds of emails. So you will create a process that will delete all the mails that have already been marked as read. So we have various activities like move email, even we can reply to email, we can send email, and all such of and other operations which we basically perform on the email. We can move one email to another folder. Then we have PDF. Is I talk about we have optical character recognition. We can perform. We can extract data, documents data. So we have PDF activity present here, as you can see. So there are various, you can extract the images from PDF. You can join PDF. You can manage password like we have secure PDF feature having password. You can merge the PDF and all sort of different operations we perform on PDF. So all this can be even performed using robotic process automation. And the difference is like there we are performing, we are going to particular tool, then we are selecting two PDFs which you want. But here you just need to mention and the robot will automatically perform. That's what the automation is, less of human intervention. Then you have Excel activities. We can perform Excel operations like saving Excel file, entering data, running Excel formulas using robot bot. And then we have Word activities like we can generate offer letter and we can generate invoices and we can convert them to PDF. Then we have database activity. We can connect all the database like MySQL, PostgreSQL. We can insert queries. We can manage database and all the things which we perform in database activities. Then Google Workspace. As we know, we use make Google Drive every day. So when you can upload documents to Google Drive, you can download and filter the documents and all these operations we perform in Google Drive. This can also be performed in this. Then we have Azure. We have Microsoft Azure package available in Robotic Studio. So we can use Azure OCR and cognitive services using APIs. And so let me show you these packages. So as we come to let's open a process which already like example sending offer letter. So here you can see packages. So these are project dependencies like we are using Excel activity. So you have Excel package already present in it has been downloaded in NuGet package of this. Then we have all packages. So from here you can search for the packages. For example, I want PDF packages. I want to perform PDF activity, so I can search for PDF. So like this is UiPath PDF activities, like it is already installed. If you want to perform any OCR activity, so you need to install that OCR activity package. Then only you will able to see these options in the activities. So these are what different packages are available in robotic process automation. As per your requirements, you download the packages there. There is a marketplace for it. So these all, and apart from that, there are various different packages available in the marketplace. Now, like now let's see what are the advantage. We are automating tasks. So what is the advantage of doing that? So first of all, the basic advantage of doing that is less coding. As we see now, like most of the things we perform were drag and drop. As you can see, like this log message, like copying file and converting, like replacing text in document and there are so many things like sending of mail, these activities of sending mail, like there are properties you configure all these properties, your mail credentials, and you can so there is no coding. I don't have to use an API for this email integration, all those. So it was just a drag and drop, so less coding. Then repeat cost saving. So talking about this point, it is it depends on the process selection, like how you are selecting the process. You should select a process which really have human interventions and which really can save the cost. So it depends on the selection of the process, how efficiently you are selecting the process and how efficiently you are selecting the RPA tool. So this is and yes, it save cost. For example, just consider a scenario where you are having two persons for day shift and night shift. Both both of the person you pay different, and they work 7 to 8 hours. Just for example, data entry. But now replacing those, you can replace a robot for data entry. Then now you don't need a two persons, and even you don't need a day night shift or night shift, because robot work 24/7. It will run daytime, nighttime without any break even. Then, like for example, if some task are there, if some companies give allowances to employ for traveling purpose, for example, from home to office, office to home, but robot do not need any allowance. It will be in the system and it will start working. So it's like that you can save cost. There are so many factors in this. Then higher customer satisfaction is uh, in consider scenario where some companies solve lots of queries, gets lots of queries daily, and there are so many people solving those queries. Like some queries even required human, but we can replace it with bot, and it will automatically answer all the queries and at instant time. Like I ask some query and I get instant reply from the robot. For example, just if employee is on for example break and I ask some query, so that employee will require some time. It is because it is on break, it will come after half an hour, but robot will instantly reply to your queries. So there can be multiple scenarios like that only. So this is higher customer satisfaction. Then reduce manual errors. For example, I am doing data entry, I want to enter somewhere data. There are chances that humans may perform some spelling mistakes, or if I want to analyze some documents or I want to write down something uh, from documents, so I can make some mistake in reading or I can miss something. But robots will not miss. What data is fed to them, they will perform them accurately. Then improve employee moral. Then better accuracy and compliance. As I mentioned, there is less chance of errors, and like the robot follows all the rules and regulations which are being followed. A person might like sometimes cheat in following the rules, but a robot, what we are told that like this you need to work, you mentioned the process, so it will work according to that. For example, in robot I have mentioned that after this you need to send mail, so it will send mail, it will not forget sending the mail, so it will follow all the rules and regulations and all things. So these were the advantage of robotic process automation. Now let's see what are the disadvantages of robotic process automation. So not disadvantages are like hiring skilled staff. So basically hiring skilled staff mean like robotic process automation, currently it is growing day by day. So like company need to spend lots of time in training the employees for the robotic process automation. Like currently we are also still learning daily some things we learn in robotic process automation. So it is a very huge field. So this there is there. Then you need some experience, working with tools and technologies. Then initial investment cost. Yes, the initial investment cost of robotic process automation is high. Like the cost of using the tools are high. But also we have some community versions present, so we can use that. Then process selection. Just a minute. So process selection. So as I mentioned, process selection very efficient. If you choose the right process, then only it will save your cost, it will save your time, and it will be really looks like an automation. So then potential job loss at this point, like some jobs might be reduced, but there are new jobs which are being opening in the field of RPA. So yes, the both the things are present 50-50% in this thing, and it depends on future, like where the RPA is going, how fast it is going, and what things it can automate. Then employee resistance, like in some organizations, if most of the things are being shifted by the bots. So currently, as I told, it is involving. So it might take each one to get settled with those things, with boards like every day. So this is what employee resistance tell us. Like it will take some time to cope up for everyone with the boards. Okay, now let's see some of the use cases of where RPA is being currently used, and it is present in the which sector. So first of all, it is used in banking and financial services, like creating of KYC document, opening of customer account, and monitoring all the balances of the people, and all lots of things can be automated, sending of automated mails to the candidate or people. Then in insurance field it is there, and telecommunication, as I told, chatbots, and even you can telephonic bots we have nowadays. So all those are being used in so this is a telecommunication field. Then customer and employee onboarding, so this is a use case like onboarding of candidates, new candidates and employees, and we will see this use case later. We have implemented these in our Hexaview technology using robotic process automation, so we will see a complete scenario. Then data entry part, as I told, like data entry part can be uh, done by the bots, like filtering of data. Yes, they need a basic data in a DBO, but if you want to copy a database data which is saved in DB, and you want to enter all those in Excel, so this process can be automated by the bot, like on a daily basis. It's not like one day. You can schedule the data every day. You are getting new database in DB, and every day it is copying the data to Excel sheet. And after, if you want to send that data to, also you can add mail activities and automatically to send that Excel sheet to the person you want to send. Then extracting data from documents, that is optical character recognition. Now you don't need to read line by line and see, you can, the RP can easily extract the data using OCR technologies and AI/ML technologies there. Then periodic report preparation, as I told, if you want to generate the PD reports, so RPA can generate the report and send to the specific person or saved into a system. Analysis of the report, like fetching the important points from the report. Then in retail sector, and it is slowly evolving the healthcare sector also. These are so many sectors where RPA is used now. It is even used in supply chain management. So now let's see the RPA use cases. So we will see two use cases. First is web scraping. We will see how robotic process automation, a basic web scraping thing, can, and how it copies data to Excel and all that. And then we will see a use case which is automating candidate onboarding process. So let's first see the web scraping demo. So we will have a short demo, practical demo of that. So let's go to UiPath Studio. I am here at UiPath Studio. I'm opening that process. So yes, so as you can see, we have this web scraping demo. So what basically it will do is we have a sheet where we have some actors name. Okay, this is the Excel sheet. Okay, so now here you can see we have some of the actors name, and that age column is empty. The age, and what our bot will do, our bot will fetch age of all these actors. Okay, currently this sheet is empty. It will take reference of this name. So let me now go to UiPath Studio, a development tool. Now you can see we have provided that sheet path here. That first of all, RP is reading the name from the Excel sheet, name of the actor, and then it will open the Google browser, well, means the web browser. Then it will input the name which was mentioned on the Excel sheet, and it will fetch the age of that particular actor. So this 57 years, this is a selector. As we all know that in HTML we have various divs we have. So basically this thing what RPAs do, like when it will search. Okay, let's start the process now. Then we will see it. So wait, currently let me close the Excel sheet. It should not be open. Otherwise, it will tell that the process is using it. So just see this age column is empty now. The sheet is here at this one sheet I open, and back to the UiPath Studio. That was this one process. So let's start this. So currently I'm not starting from the orchestrator. I'm starting from the studio itself. See, now the Google is open. It will enter the actor's name here automatically. I am not doing anything here. So this is div. This particular is div on a template. So it's selected div. But here, in each time it will search the name. We have mentioned a div that in this div that particular thing is present. Like currently it is opening new tabs, but we can even have functionality to open it in. It is opening in new window, so we can open it in new tab, or also even after getting the edge, we can even close the window. So all those things can be performed. So this is what is doing this thing. We can perform this web scraping for different scenarios, whether you want to fetch any data from any websites or any e-commerce website, we can say anything. So it is like that. Yes, so like it performed for all the 4 5 vectors which were mentioned in the sheet. And now let's go back and open that sheet. So you can see like we have actors name and we have got the age of all the actors from the web. So Like this is just we can say a shifting of that cell. So like you can see all the age are mentioned here. So this is how we can perform wave scraping for different scenarios. Now, for example, now sheet is ready. Okay. Now sheet is ready and someone told that after getting the age, you want to send this sheet to someone. So what we can do here, like we can integrate send mail activity here. So after this activity, we will add send mail and we will send this sheet, attach this sheet in the mail and send to that particular. So like this, you can increase the processes per your requirements. So this is what a basic web scripting was, how we perform in robotic process automation, and there are still very different options available, as you can see. Is Wait. So you can see you have screen scraping present here, and like whatever the screen you want to scrape, you can scrape it. Then we have data scraping data, as you can see, like extract structured data from a browser application document, and then we even user events. I was in the starting, I told that it can understand the keystrokes. So this is you can see keystrokes. Let me show you keystroke thing here also. Like as the robot searched that particular name from the sheet, like we got the sheet, then it opened the browser, then type input. So it entered that name, current row actors dot from Excel sheet. It selected Shah Rukh Khan. It is able to present first. Then we have send hotkey input and enter. So after entering that name, actor's name, it automatically consider the enter key. So it enters, then it search. Then what's happening after searching? We got that screen of yours. And from that we fetch that particular div. So for example, if I go and indicate on a screen, so like we can, let's open Chrome browser here. Hmm. So like screen. So this is a div, which is a HTML div present. So we selected this div. So each and every page, it was selecting that particular element for finding the edge. So this was how it was working. Now let's move to the another. Let me close all these steps now. So now let's move to another scenario that was. Let me close this all. Yes. Now we will see automatic candidate onboarding process. So basically, what was the problem statement here? The problem statement was that traditionally candidate onboarding process often was time consuming, error prone, and required significant manual interventions. How? These are just read, but for HR was manually creating the offer letter for different candidates which were need to be hired, then sending those documents offer letter on in the mails, then monitoring back that whether the candidate has replied to that particular mail or not. If replied, then sending the onboard next process mail, onboarding document process mail. It's a lots of manual stuff was present in that, like manual data entry, document handling their offer letter, their documents which they send properly, then coordination with all the departments, then checking of emails, compliances, following all the rules and regulations manually. All those things were present. So like we come up with a solution with implementing this process and reducing HR work with robotic process automation. So let's see how. So we created a process which read data from database. Currently, I have mentioned Excel sheet, but this is a database or Excel anything. We are reading the data. So we have data where we have marked as candidate as selected and not selected. We filter them. So if candidate is selected, then what we basically do for that candidate, we prepare offer letter. We have a details of all the we have all the details like what will the CTC of that particular candidate, what will its location, and what will be its time period, internship time period, and all of those things. So that was already present. We were already having that. Then with all those details, it generate the offer letter. It generate the offer letter. It convert it to PDF and then send to the that particular candidate via email. Then what happens? That first thing is completed now. So let me show you this. Now we are coming back to this sending offer letter process. So we have this process here. So what we were doing is like enter the main sequence here. So as you can see, I showed Excel sheet, but we have data. So we have data in database. So we are fetching all the data like job title of the particular candidate, what is its selection status, and what was candidate name, email, everything. Then if the candidate is selected, then we generate an offer letter. So we have a template. So let's first that word template which we are having here. See, we have an offer letter template, word template. So let me show you how it works. So as you can see, we have certain keyword present here. That is company name, F name, date one, and job salary here, date two. So all these details we are having in DB. Then again, company name and all. Now what we do here is, as you can see, I have used replace activity in UiPath. So you can, we have access that document, copy of that document which I just showed you, which having all the keys. So we replace F name with that candidate name, company name with organization name, like what was the date to be, like we have to send accept the offer letter till that date. Then you can, we have replace the candidate position, all the things like job location, job cities, everything. After that, we have converted it to PDF and we are attaching that document in the mail series. That document is converted to PDF and mail. So let me show you after converting to PDF how that document looks like. So this was what the offer letter generated by the robotic process automation. This is a company name. This was a test thing. So that it's a company name ARY, date, then my candidate name, its CTC, and its location and its position. So all those things are replaced and offer letter is generated by robotic. HR no need to create this. It was converted to PDF and even sent to the candidate via mail. So this was how robotic process was implemented in this. Now let's see further scenario in that. Now what basically happening is the offer letter has been sent to the candidate. Now candidate will reply to the offer letter. So once we have another process which daily runs and check for that particular candidate that whether they have replied to that mail or not. So if there is a candidate is accepted the offer letter, then we update it in DB and send the onboarding documents. We have detail from where that which onboarding document we want to send to that candidate, like Aadhaar card you want to send or 12th mark sheet and etc etc. So we can send it via mail. Then after that, it again check that whether candidate is replying to that mail, whether he has sent his all the onboarding documents. If candidates attach all documents on the mail, then RPA process will download all those attached documents from mail and will upload it to the Amazon S3 bucket. We have folder mentioned there, so it will upload to the Amazon S3 bucket. Now let's show that process in orchestrator. Like we have published and it is currently been deployed also. So let's go back to the orchestrator here. Mm. So as I go in processes, you can see we have this sending offer letter process already present here. So it is and when we go to trigger, this is sending offer letter. But this process which I'm explaining this side, this read mail, this is get the documents like. So it is triggered. It automatically checks, delete, runs, like get offer letter to check whether offer letter is sent by the candidate or not. So this is the process. It automatically get triggered in every 2 hours, like every 30 minutes. Then we have get onboarding documents. We check that documents are being sent or not. So it runs every 2 hours. Currently they are disabled, but they run in every 2 hours. So this is how even we can trigger. This is unattended, like no human is starting this process. It is automatically, it will start in every 2 hours. So this thing is also there. So this is how we implemented it and what were it outcomes, like what we got after doing that. So let's see this now. So what were the benefits of automating those processes? So scalability. Now HR were free. They don't need to do manual work. They can focus on another thing of the organization and focus the growth of organization. Then less human errors. For example, like just 1% chance of mistake and for example just wrong CTC entered, just an example. So like, but in RPA it will write all the data which has been fed to DB. If data is wrong in DB, then we can't, then RPA can't do anything. But if you take accurate data from the database, okay, like if you mention 6 lakh CTC, then it will pick up 6 lakh CTC also, it will not pick up 5. So then less human error we got. Then availability, like a person can work 8 hours, or we can, as I mentioned, we should have then two shift or anything, but a robot can work 24/7. It is available 24/7 to check the documents, to upload the documents, to check the offer letter, send again mail, send, check mail, received mail. So everything is working automatically. Then faster implementation, of course, like let me share this, like this is very interesting. Like when we implemented this process, uh, in 5 to 10 seconds, we were able to send complete offer letter or mail to the candidate in just 5 to 10 seconds. So in 1 minute, like 5 to 6 offer letter, we can generate and send it to the candidate. So it is time consuming and it is a faster implementation. And even we were able to do this on community version. So we don't need to pay it for, we need to take the paid version of even UiPath Studio. It was done on community version itself. So these were benefits. Now let's talk about tools which are present in the market all over the world. So the mostly tool which we are discussing was UiPath Studio, on which we saw two of the use cases. Then we have Automation Anywhere, Pega, and Blue Prism. So these four are topmost, we can say, in the current in the marketplace. And UiPath is one of the best tool. We find it is its UI is very easy to understand. Talking about Automation Anywhere, then Automation Anywhere also didn't work much on Automation Anywhere, but yes, it is uh, quite complicated to use its UI compared to UiPath, and it's like we have less feature in in their community versions. Like Pega, it's really have very less. Like even you can't implement anything using Pega. Like very, and it's mostly used for system automation. Pega. Then we have Blue Prism, which is available. So like there are certain scenarios which we should consider while choosing a right tool for implementing robotic process automation. First is whether the tool, what's first of all what the need, what's the your process need, what process you want to automate. Then whether the web, whether the system, then you need to search like which tool is best for system automation. Is it Pega or is it Automation Anywhere? So you should choose that. Then cost, if both the things, if you find that Work Fusion and Pega both are for system uh, automation. Now you will compare the cost. We will come next, like the Work Fusion and Pega, which is having less cost and will it satisfy our needs. So according to that, you should select the tools. And to know more about this tool, you can simply go and search like UiPath. Then you will find a UiPath Academy or you complete documentation. You can read more about this. All the tools which are being available, but mostly Blue Prism, UiPath, Automation Anywhere, and Pega. These are the four widely used products for creating automation processes. Now, future of RPA. Let's talk something about future of RPA. What's the future of RPA? So first thing is cognitive automation. Cognitive automations means we will be having more use of AI, machine learning, or artificial intelligence in robotic process automation. For example, is analysis of object detection. We can like means more intelligent. We will try to make our bot more intelligent. Chatbots, we will try to make chatbots more intelligent so that reply to all the queries asked by the customer. Then hyper automation. Hyper automation means like let's consider the scenario of sending offer letter only. So what's there, like after when we are uploading documents to S3 bucket, then after it HR once need to verify there like all the documents are uploaded or not, like just need to verify, check then the data proper or not. So hyper, so there is a somewhere involvement of human again, but hyper automation focus on completely automation. Like no, like a process will fully automated, there will be hardly chance of any human to interact in that. So this is what hyper automation is. So in future we can see the hyper automation in robotic process automation. Then intelligent document process. Yes, currently we are having optical character recognition thing, and in apart from RPA, OCR are quite, we can say, intelligent. But in robotic process automation, we can even have more good amount of data analytics part and more intelligence in reading the documents, understanding documents, fetching details from the documents, and all those things. Then regulatory complements, as the RPA is growing technology, and as we saw that it is automating lots of things. You know, even it can log into systems if we perform a process of logging into systems. For example, I create a process log into Teams, so I need to mention my ID, password, all those things, and it will log into even Teams, like pressing the key and going to there, selecting things on a screen, and it will log in. But there will be more rules and laws regarding all those things, regarding the security, regarding the human data and the data on which RPA is processing. So regulatory complements can increase in the future. So this is what all about robotic process automation, its tools, and what were its use case, and where RPA can be lies in the future. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Rohit. That was really insightful. In short, you have thrown and shown us a lot of information, and we would love to also catch up again, uh, both at personal level and the professional level, to understand more on these. We have a question from Uruti Vinay, and the question says, can we add more services from AWS to activities, or those three services, EC2, IAM, S3, only available as of now? Any thoughts? Rohit?
Yes. So, like currently, as I show the AWS activities here, let me go to that slide. So like in AWS currently, like to use any activity, first of all, you need its scope. Like you can see Amazon workspace scope. But currently, like we have all this EC2 instance we can use because like still there are some things which can't be automated in AWS also. Like they need human to be done. So for example, we can mention this thing in RP to create a bucket, so we can easily create a bucket. But yes, as per my knowledge, currently I have seen all these three activities on like EC2 instance, IAM user, and S3 bucket. And from all of those three, like we have currently worked on S3 bucket. So yes, in cloud, like not completely all the complete activities of cloud are present in RPA. Few of those services are present here. Not all the services. Like still robot are no more like are not much intelligent than human. Like still they need like human are only creating them. So whatever the data human is fed, it will work on that only. So currently these three are only available.
Okay. Okay. Uriti, does it answer your question? Okay. Here's a follow-up question. Follow-up question asks, how secure is it? Let's take an example of offer letter generation. As we have noted, this tool is available to the public. Can we confidently rely on it for highly sensitive tasks such as creating offer letters? Or is there a risk of unauthorized manipulation leading to the issuance of offer letters to unintended recipients?
Okay, so talking about so yes, like RPA's UiPath Studio is having all the complete securities. Like even if you want to send mail, then it has its credential store where you store all your credentials. And for example, RPA is uploading the thing to S3 bucket, so it is using AWS service of S3 bucket and it is uploading object there. So there it is safe. Like once it is uploaded to S3 bucket, then it is a security, it is a concern of AWS, whether AWS S3 secure or not. So RP has uploaded the document there. So after that, it depends on the AWS there. So yes, like RPA is secure. And as I told in future, we can see more security and more rules and regulation regarding all those things. But yes, currently like it is very simple. It is just creating the offer letter and it is all the DB we are using Postgres, so it is also running on server. So like everything is secure. It is not will like it is accessible to all the public and it has its user roles who can access it, who can run all those things, who can see all those things. So there are rules and regulations. Not everyone can easily open anyone's offer letter or can generate any other offer letter of any like fake offer letters we can say. So it is that, sir.
Okay, okay. I hope this answers your question, Uriti. Any other question, guys? Before we close down this session, you can raise your hand, put any question in the chat box. Let's see. Okay, if you don't have any questions, I think this is time to say goodbye. But before doing that, couple of pointers. In case if you have any questions, you can always ping Bhagyashree, and you can of course ping Rohit, who is part of our
Sure.
organization only.
I would be
And
happy to connect with anyone of you if
yes,
you have any doubt. We can even discuss and we can have a debate also. There.
and from marketing side, Rohit, we might involve you in some things because since we have talked about RPA, we keep on using it from marketing side as well. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and we hope to see you again in our third installment, which is in progress. And hope all of us remain in good health. Thank you. Good day and have a great rest of the weekend, everyone. Bye bye. Take care, all.
Thank you.